I was contacted by a company called Rattan recently and asked if I would be interested in reviewing this four-seater Rattan garden furniture set. My wife and I have just been recently discussing how uncomfortable our cast aluminium table and chairs is, so I figured yes, I'd give it a try, and they asked me if I would actually include unboxing and assembly of the set in the video as well. So later on in the video you can see me assemble the set and you can see what size box it comes in, because it comes in one box. This rattan material is polyethylene plastic, so that's actually waterproof. The frame of the chair is made of mild steel and it's held together with screws. So they say that it is weather resistant. It's not exactly weatherproof, because if you leave it outside in the rain all the time it will eventually start rusting. The cushions themselves are fairly thin, I reckon around about 2 inches, maybe 1 3/4 inches, and it does say on the paperwork that the cushion covers are waterproof. So let's see whether this cushion is waterproof or not. Well, I think that's pretty conclusive. It most definitely is waterproof, so that's quite handy. Very impressed with that. But again, I'll be taking these cushions inside when I use it. Now, to actually sit on this particular furniture, it is really quite comfortable compared to what I'm used to. So according to a photograph on the website, the single chairs can take a weight capacity of 355 pounds, which is 160 kilograms. Now I weigh 110 kilograms and I can literally plonk myself on this chair without any issues at all. It is really solid and steady. And it also says that the double seat can take 710 pounds, which is 320 kilograms. Myself and my daughter sat on this chair yesterday and I weigh 110 kilograms, so it's had 2 fully grown adults sat on there, and again this is rock steady. There's no movement on this when you sit on it. It is very firm and comfortable to sit in. Basically, I think it is a really nice set. Now, there is one issue that I've got with this, and that is that this glass top on the table is actually held on with suction cups, and to me you can see it's not particularly strong. So I think in the future I'm actually going to find a way to fix the glass to this table properly. Although saying that, when it's actually on those suction cups you can move it around and it's not going to come on. It's just if you're carrying it, there's a chance that it will come off, and it's not as firm a fixing as out of light. I think that is really the only issue that I've got with this garden set. The set comes in 3 different colours. This is obviously the brown, there is a light grey and a black, but you will find that the black is slightly more expensive than the brown and the light grey. So all the furniture has got hard plastic feet on the bottom, so if you're using it on a patio like this or a wooden deck, maybe tiled surface, it won't scratch the surface, which is a good point. The table has got the same thing. I personally think that this is a very nice set, and if I'd have paid for it with my own money, I think I would have been pleased with my purchase. This is how the set is shipped. As you can see, it arrives in a fairly large box. It weighs about 26 kilograms, and you need to be aware that it's fairly awkward to handle. When you come to unpack the box, remember that there is a glass tabletop in here, and they've actually strapped that to the back of the double chair, so it is quite secure. But please remember when you're taking everything out that there is a glass top in there. Inside the box we've got the main components for the table, glass top, the front and the back of the table, and the 2 table ends. These are the main components of the single chairs. We've got 2 right hand sides, 2 left hand sides, 2 chair seats and 2 chair backs. The double chair main components, we've got the seat for the double chair, the back, the left hand side and the right hand side. 3 cushions, a double and 2 singles, a set of instructions, and then a pack of screws and washers with an Allen key there in order to put everything together. So to make things easier, the manufacturer stuck labels on all the parts, but unfortunately I've already noticed that this is the table leg, which should be I, and it's actually labelled L, but I think that's maybe just a one-off. We'll see what happens when I start putting it all together, but in all honesty, looking at these instructions, they do look fairly simple. So before I start, I'd just like to say that there are only 2 sets of screws. They're both M6 screws, that's the diameter of the thread, but you'll see that one is 35mm long and they're labelled F, and the other one is 30mm long, which are labelled E, and then you've got all the washers. Every screw needs a washer. So we've got the Allen key, and then we've got the instructions. Now that's everything that we need to put the thing together. So the first thing I'm going to do is assemble the 2 single chairs. You'll see there are just 2 steps to assembling these chairs, and I'm going to start on step 1, which involves 4 size F screws, and it's got the 2 sides A and B and the back of the chair C. So that's the first thing I'm going to do. There are the 4 F screws and 4 washers. So now you can see we've got B, which is the side, that's the actual right hand side. We've got C, which is the back, and if you look on the side there are 2 holes that go all the way through from one side to the other. On the back you've got 2 holes in the side there. So that's where you're going to screw it together, and it's going to go like this on the side of the chair. Now if I spin that round, you can see that the shape of the back actually follows the shape of the side of the chair. You'll see there's the screw hole there, and then we've got the hole on the side of the chair. I'm going to match them up, and I'm just going to put one of the bolts through. So I'm sliding that through there now, lining up the 2 holes and start screwing it down. Once you've actually got that first one, then it becomes fairly easy. Then you just line up the next one and then just start tightening it up. So that's the first 2 screws connected. So next we need to connect the other side. So we need 2 more of the longer screws. So I'm going to push that screw through so I can see it, and then line it up with the hole there and just get it started. That's it started, and then I'll move on to the other side and I'll do the same with this one. That's that one started. There we go. So that's step 1 done. We need to put in the chair base. Now you can see that just slots in there. 3 E's, 3 E's, 1 F. And the first thing I'm going to do is put this one in the middle, the long one. So I'm going to lift this base up like so. So find the hole in the middle, which is there. That's it started now. And it helps if you use the Allen key this way so that you've got more movement with it. So that's the first one. Now I've got 3 on either side. Let's do the bottom ones first. That's the first one in. I've got to put 1 in there. That's started now. And then 1 in there. Then I've got that one started, and yes I have. So I've got the 3 screws screwed in slightly on this side. I've got the 1 in the middle screwed in. I've got to do the other 3 screws for this side and then tighten everything up, and that's the chair assembled. So on the other side I've done the same thing. I've put these 3 screws in, and all I'm going to do now is go around and tighten them all up, and that's the chair assembled. So I'll do that now. So I'm just going to go around, tighten all the screws like that, using the long edge of the Allen key so I get enough leverage on it. Don't over tighten because you could strip the threads. So there we go, that's the first single chair assembled. I'm going to do the same for the second one. Assembling the double seat is almost the same as a single. Step 1 is exactly the same. In step 2, the screw configurations are slightly different. So make sure that you look at the instructions to work out which screw goes where. If you take your time, check which screw goes where, you won't have any problems putting it together. So now I'm going to assemble the table, and this is pretty simple. We've got 8 of the screws, which are E, the smaller screw. So we've got 8 E screws. Each one has got a washer. 1, 2, 3, 4 holes on each end of the table where the legs are, and 1, 2, 3, 4 holes on each side of the table. So it's very simple to assemble. Just line up the holes on the side and the legs. Easiest thing to do is to just poke one of the screws through, line it up, get it started. That's 1. That's 2. The same on the other side. You can see which side goes on the outside. Look, this side has got the metal bit going in, and this side is just rattan, so you can see which way it goes. Get the first one started, then the second. So you can see that's half of it done already. We've just got to connect this side, line up the holes, put in the screws. The same on this side. All I've got to do now is tighten them all up. Just one thing I'd like to say is if you do have a cordless screwdriver, if you can find the right hex bit, you can save yourself a lot of time once you've actually got the screw started by tightening them all up with your screwdriver. The Allen key will do all of this regardless, so you don't need to use a screwdriver. It just makes life quite a bit quicker, that's all. Right, so that's it assembled. All I've got to do now is put the glass on the top, press it down onto the suction cups, and that's it fitted now. I don't like the idea of suction cups holding the glass down, but it will do the job. You've just got to push the cups to get them in the right position and maybe slide the glass. So it's a bit of jiggling around, but that's it connected. So that's the table assembled. The 4-seater Rattan garden furniture set by Rattan Tree. Now, as you can see, it's a lovely little set. It's well put together, very solid in the way it's built, fairly easy to assemble. It comes in one box, so it's easy to get delivered as well. So the waterproof cushions are a big advantage. I think personally that I'll be leaving this out when the weather's good, but just taking it inside if we've got stormy weather coming or if it's going to start raining heavily. But I'm very impressed with this furniture for the money. I think it is very good value. I'm really glad that they asked me to review it. I hope you found this review useful, and thank you for watching. Picky, what do you think? Yes. Pickle likes it as well. Thank you very much for watching.